Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Holly. I know it's been a while since I have checked in with all of you. It has been such a busy September, but I am back to crafting at my table, and I had to pop in here and share with you the gorgeous Golden Greenery collection. And I know that I'm totally messing that up because I think it's the Seasons of Green and Gold, but the stamp set is called Golden Greenery. So anyway, there is a suite called Seasons of Gold and Green, and it features all of these products that you see here. Now, I know it's been out of stock for quite a while at Stampin' Up, but it is coming back. And let me tell you, you're going to want to grab it because I have not only a scrapbooking workshop to share with you, but I have now just finished the guide for 6 beautiful, elegant Christmas cards that are fun folds. And oh, I can't wait to share them with you guys. I am so excited. So in the bundle, you're going to get, it's a suite, not a bundle, because you can buy the bundle of the Greetings of the Season photopolymer stamp set and the coordinating die, which is called Greeting of the Seasons dies. So you can buy this in a bundle. You can buy Golden Greenery and its coordinating dies in a bundle, or you can buy the Suite collection, which includes all of this: the Designer Series paper, the Designer Series paper vellum, both stamp sets with dies, and this stunning, elegant, very vanilla satin ribbon. And I can't wait to show you how to tie it. So that comes in the entire suite. And like I said, the suite is currently out of stock, but it's coming back. And the neat thing about this collection is that these dies cut out these images, not only on the vellum, but also on the Designer Series paper. And let me just tell you, you are going to have so much fun with this workshop. And my girlfriend, Michele Rowley, created the scrapbooking workshop, and then I took all of her leftover papers and I created 6 gorgeous, interactive, fun fold cards. So you can see what the dies are going to cut out, and you're going to use this. So I would encourage you to go very slowly as you're cutting these images out. And one thing that I did is I took my scissors and I very carefully went in this corner and I just kind of carved out about a 3-inch section so that I could then go back with my dies and match these up, because they are like so close to these images. You really want to line them up really, really well. Take some washi tape, cover them with washi tape, and then cut them through your die cut machines. So that is my tip for these beautiful pieces. And then the same goes true for the vellum. I did the same thing. I just kind of took a section and I just cut around it. And then I took the dies, laid them onto those pieces, taped them down with washi tape, and then I cut them out. So it will really help you maximize every single square inch of those pieces. And this die alone, I'm just telling you, I used it so much, and you're going to use it not only for scrapbooking, but also for card making. It's absolutely fabulous. And then these, oh my goodness, the stitching on here and just the dimension of all of the different tags. It's such a substantial set. You will get so much use out of it. So let me put these pieces away and show the good stuff, which is the 4 double page layouts that Michele created. So let me get these into view, because I just got done making these and they turned out magnificently. Just so fun. So this was an old die from Close to My Heart. So if you have this, this is what was used, but you could certainly use any title dies for this. And then just look at all of the detail. These are all those dies that are cut and used to accent on the pages. Again, just so much detail. And then we also used that beautiful circle die set, the Spotlight on Nature. And I know so many of you have that, so you're going to get so much use out of it. So this is layout number 1. This is layout number 2. Again, we're using an alphabet from Stampin' Up, which is, oh my goodness, you guys, alphabet a la mode. And then those are those gorgeous tags. Here's those dies. And we are just creating some really beautiful, elegant clusters with it. And this is the vellum on white paper. Look at how stunning that is. Oh my goodness, you guys. I think I'm gonna hoard this paper. It's too beautiful to just cut all of it. And then look at these fabulous clusters with vellum and gold glitter paper. These are close to my heart, gold glitter. So you could use the gold foil paper from Stampin' Up. And then just look at those ribbons. So beautiful. And then I love the clustering that Michael did. And she's going to teach in a video how to do this piece right here, which is just such a beautiful, it's like almost a buckle looking cluster piece on here. So just such a stunning page. And then here's that other cluster right up in here. Absolutely love it. And then here is the last page. This is us, and I chose to cut it out of solid cardstock versus pattern paper. And then I used gold glitter paper on here. Really just some beautiful pages that I know you guys are gonna enjoy. And this gold foil paper is the bomb diggity. Like, oh my goodness, Stampin' Up hit it out of the park. And then these are the cards that I'm going to walk you through how to make right now. And they are 6 different elegant fun fold cards. I'm so proud of them, you guys. I hope that you love them as much as I do. We're going to have some fun with stamping. And I'm going to walk you through how to do the bows for sure, because they are so special and delicate, but my grandma taught me some really fun ways to tie bows, so I want to make sure I pass those tips and tricks along to you. Just some really fun, fancy fold cards. Love this one. I'm going to teach you how to do this layering stamping. And then there's that beautiful gold foil. Oh, I just love it. And this one is the last one. It's got a gorgeous little belly band. And again, just another really fun fancy fold. So instead of literally walking you through step by step, making every single one of these cards, I thought what I would do is walk you through the tips and tricks for each one, because they're all so unique and different. And I wanted to just give you the tips that I found useful. And I do want to walk you through some of the stamping techniques. So the 2 colors that we're using is Old Olive and the Garden Green. And then I've already got my blocks mounted, ready to go. And I also have a scratch piece of paper here because we are going to be doing some stamping off. And I don't need any of the dies, and I do need this gorgeous ribbon. I need my snips. If you have a bone folder, you're going to want to grab that as well. And I've got glue dots and adhesive right here, the Stampin' Seal, which I'm starting to fall in love with, and foam tape for sure. Okay, I think we've got it. And then I do have my chamois from Close to My Heart and my case over here to the side. And so let me just walk you through these elements. So I have already gone ahead and taken the Designer Series paper. I'm calling this the Old Olive Plaid. And then I'm calling this piece, I think it's the Multiple Leaf Designer Series paper, because their papers aren't labeled and most people just call them DSPs. So I wanted to be very specific in my cutting instructions for you. And then the Garden Green is what we're using for the card base. I've already gone ahead and scored it according to the instructions that I have given you. And this is a 7 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, and it's scored at 3 inches, not 3 o'clock. And then I've gone ahead and put that Designer Series paper already on there. This is the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock, and we scored it at the 1 inch mark. and you're scoring it on the right side, and this piece is going to get attached and tucked under, so to speak. So let's do our stamping on this very vanilla cardstock. And we're going to open this up so that you can see. We are going to do second generation stamping. And that's why you need a scratch piece of paper so that you can stamp off on there. And I'm just going to open up these two pads very carefully. And we are going to take the leaves, or excuse me, this is what we would consider the leaves, and these are the stems, and they do match up because they are more heart-shaped. So we are going to take the garden green, we are going to tap that a couple of times, we are going to stamp off right here, and then we are going to stamp in this corner like so. Hold it there for a few seconds. And then we are going to lift up, do the same thing, turn this around, stamp off, bring this over into view and stamp that right like that. And then we are going to take the hearts in Old Olive, which is like my favorite color. And we are going to stamp off over here. Let's stamp off over here. And then we're going to bring this under here, bring that in, and I am going to carefully line that up. I love that you can see through this. Hold it there for a few seconds so that that ink can absorb, and voila. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm going to turn it around, do the same thing. Whoops, let's get the right ink, Holly. That would have been disastrous, right? Okay, and then line these up just like so. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to get that out of the way. I don't think I need that anymore. And then we're going to stamp the sentiment, which is right here in Garden Green. And then I'm going to go just like this. I want it to be a little bit more centered. Just like that. Hold that down for a few seconds, and that is perfect. And then we're going to stamp Merry Christmas. Let me put that over there. Bring in Merry Christmas. I want that hole covered up. And then here is Merry and Christmas. And my tip for this and for all of the tags is to stamp Christmas first. I'm going to bring this down. I hope that you guys can see this and not my head. Hold it there for a few seconds. Lift up, bring in Merry, ink it up, and then we want to tuck the Merry, and I apologize, you might see my head on this. We want to tuck the Merry so that the Y is right above the H and the M is closest to the C. Love that. It turned out so beautifully. Okay, we're going to move those out of the way. I'm going to set these off to the side and not close them up. And let's get to building the rest of this beautiful card very quickly. I'm going to just use the Stamp and Seal. Get that right centered like that. Press it down. Oh, and before we do that, yes, Holly, we need to tuck this in. So we're going to put adhesive on this side. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to carefully go in here and lift this up ever so carefully. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to use this adhesive, you guys. It's forgiving. Whereas the Press and Seal Plus, Stamp and Seal Plus is not quite as forgiving, and I have ruined quite a few of projects because of that. So we're going to tuck this in just like so. We want it to butt right up against the edge, and if you're on your Versamat, you are going to go in 1/2 inch from the top. And you could even go in just a smidge more so it's almost 5/8 of an inch. Yeah, 5/8 of an inch. That'll work. Okay. And use your bone folder to really burnish and score these creases so that your card really does a nice job laying flat, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and attach the card tag to the front like this. And then I want to show you how I take this gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon. And you could pull it through the tag. I think I did that on this one. So let me just show you how to do that. I tied them in knots going forward because this is such thick ribbon. I didn't want to tear my tag. So the rest of them, for the rest of the projects, they are like a faux knot because you're going to use a glue dot to attach them instead of pulling them through the tag. And then I just like to tie it in a beautiful little knot, just like that. This ribbon is so gorgeous. And I bought a second spool because I know that I'm going to be using this quite a bit. And then you're just going to pull it a little taut so that you can get those edges nice and tight. And there is our first card. And isn't it just so beautiful? And I got a little bit of dust on there, but let's press that down. That should stick now. And there we go. We have card number 1 done. So I'm going to put that out of the camera view. We're going to bring in card number 2. This is so fun. It's a fun little easel card, and we're going to use dimensional tape to pop it up a little bit. I've done all the hard parts for this so we could make this a speedy card. So we're just going to fold that piece over. The measurements for all of these cards and tips and tricks are in the guide. And for those of you that have already placed your order this month in September, a $50 order, you are getting both guides from me. And if you are a demonstrator, message me through email and I will let you know what the cost is for the guide, because I now have a way to just sell the guide to demonstrators so that you don't have to place an order on my website. So we're taking this piece, we're going to line it up right here at the very bottom, just like this. And with the guides, you get the video access and you get the full color guide instruction, which is awesome. And isn't that so beautiful? Love that. And then the tag is already done. We're going to glue it down, and then I'm going to show you how to tie a bow, which my grandma would call a dress bow. We're going to put that down just like that. We're going to bring in this ribbon. So you're going to put the loop in your right hand, and you're going to go over from the back to the front, and you are going to tie that bow just like that, and it will force the ribbon every time to lay flat. Now if you want to make your tail a little shorter, just make your loop a little bit smaller, just like that. Going to bring it around from the back to the front, go through your little hole, and start pulling and just get those tails as tight as you want them. And that looks perfect. And I'm going to just keep playing with it until I get this as tight as I want it. I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to go just like that. And I'm going to just hold this at the edge and snip that right off. And then I think I'm going to make that one just a little smidge smaller. So just hold it in your hand so you can get that and it won't cause the ribbon to fray too much. And then I'm going to take my glue dots, and we're going to use a couple of them so that that stays on there nice and tight, just like that. And there we go. We have a beautiful card. Card 2 is done. Okay, here is card 3. I love this card. I love the bow, I love the cluster, and then I just love the fun fold. So this one is going to be super fun. Again, I've done most of the hard parts already. I've already done the stamping. I've already gone ahead and done all of the stamping and assembly of this. Again, the guide, I promise you, it is very thorough. And just burnish these edges really well. And then to get this piece on, you really only want adhesive on this side right here. And then we're going to attach it right there. And actually for this one, we're going to lift that up ever so carefully. We actually want this to be more flush with the edge. So I'm glad I looked up and did that first, okay? And just make sure you don't have any adhesive showing. That would not be good. And then we are going to tie this gorgeous ribbon through this side. Follow the same guidelines as last time. We're going to bring that up. We are going to hold this in our right hand, and then you're going to bring this from the back to the front, and it will force that ribbon to lay flat. And then just fidget with it and get it where you want it to. Just like that. Whoops, sorry, did not mean to hit the camera with my head. And then we're going to just cut that ribbon just like that. And then you can fidget with it and move it where you want. And that is perfect. We are going to now take these pieces. This is going to get some foam tape on it. Just like so. And then we are going to get some adhesive on the back of these pieces. I cut out a ton of these. So these are all my leftovers that I had when I was making Michael's scrapbook layouts. So we're going to put that there. This one's going to come over there just like that. And this little guy is going to go just like that. Oh my goodness, you guys, isn't that just so beautiful? And I did the same stamping technique like I did with the first card, so second generation for both of those. And that image is actually this one. It's not the heart image. So I love that there are two separate images that you can use for layering. Okay, we are going to put those cards over there. Let's bring in card number 4. And this one was really fun. So I created a template for you in the guide, and it will show you exactly what this is. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of printer paper, and you are going to score it on the 11-inch side at 5.5. Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to score this at 4.25. Okay, and I apologize, I just set it backwards. So let me move this out of the way. So at the 8.5-inch mark, okay, 8.5-inch mark, you're going to score it at 5.5. Then you're going to turn this at the 11-inch mark, and you're going to score it at 4.25. And then you're going to take your ruler and a pencil, and you're going to line it up at the 11-inch. On the 11-inch side, you're going to line it up from the bottom to the top, and you're going to take a pencil. You are going to mark that, and then you're going to take your scissors, and you are going to cut this right on the line. And this is going to create 2 card bases for you. So you're basically getting 2 for 1 out of this one. And I happen to use the pecan pie cardstock because I thought it looked the best with those gorgeous gold foil bells. Okay, so now this is for the second card, this is for the first card, and you're going to take these and really burnish them really well, okay, so that they close together just like that. And there's your first card, okay? So now let me bring in my example, which is this one. And the second step is to take a designer series paper. I'm calling this the Mossy Meadow, I think. I think I called it either Mossy Meadow or, yeah, it's Mossy Meadow Polka Dot DSP. And one side is that beautiful multi-leaf DSP that I'm calling it. Anyway, it is, let me move this over here. This is a 4" by 5 1/4" piece. And at the 5 1/4" piece, you are going to cut it from one diagonal to the other. And again, that photo is in my guide. And then once you've done that, you're going to bring your pecan pie cardstock. I've already gone ahead and stamped the inside. I've already taken that beautiful gold foil leaf paper is what I'm calling it. And we are ready to put this on. So we are going to attach this. And it has a little bit of a border all the way around. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Whoops. And again, we are going to attach this just like so. Whoops, let's get this little guy a little smidge closer. Just a smidge. There we go. I love how forgiving this adhesive is. Okay, and then I've already gone ahead and attached this DSP onto the Very Vanilla cardstock. And then these are the 2 sprigs that I cut out with the die. And we are going to just take some adhesive, stick it onto the backs. I want the larger one to go in that direction. And then we're going to just attach this tag that's already been stamped. I stamped holidays first in the garden green and old olive for happy. And you can see that they do slightly just overlap. So this is going to go right on here. It almost looks like it's one whole piece. Isn't that beautiful? And then we're only going to put adhesive in this corner. Okay. Get that little piece of hair out of there. And then you want to center this on here, just like so. And then just press that, and then that goes up and out. Pretty fabulous. Okay, that was card 4. Now we are going to bring in card 5. This one is super fun because it is a card within a card. So I've already gone ahead and scored everything. I've stamped my front. I wanted to show you how to do the layering of this piece right here. And then I've already gone ahead and assembled all of these pieces. And again, this was very similar to what I did for card number 1. And I didn't feel like you needed me to walk you through how to do that again. So we are going to grab a scratch piece of paper. I'm going to just grab my little template here that I did. And we want the heart. And we want this one. So we're going to do second generation again with garden green. And this is going to go right across the card front, just like that. And then we are going to do this one in old olive. And again, we're going to stamp off. And then we are going to line this up just like so. I'm going to hold it there for a few seconds. And then we are going to grab Wishing You. And here's my Merry and Christmas. And excuse my reach, I think the Wishing You, no, it's over here on a different block. Aha, here it is. So let me just remove these other little guys. We want Wishing You to go up here, and then Merry is going to go in the middle, and then Christmas is going to go towards the bottom. We want Garden Green for wishing you. And that's going to go just like that. Hold it there for a few seconds and it will allow more ink to absorb into the cardstock. And then Mary is going to be in Old Olive, and it's going to go right like that. And then Christmas. Whoops. Yes. Garden green. Thank you. Got the right color. And we want that one to come right across just like that. Oh my goodness. Isn't that so beautiful? Such a pretty way to just layer color and just bring more attention to the sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and attach this on the inside of this one. Just make sure that it is opening kind of backwards, right? And then we're going to bring in this one. We're going to attach this flush with the right side. So again, just make sure that you only have adhesive on this side. And you can eyeball it. I'm sure it's about an inch, probably 3/4 of an inch. Yes, just like that. Just kind of hold it there and press that there really well, and it opens beautifully. And then the last thing I want to do is pop my tag and add my ribbon. And we will be moving on to our last and final card. And I can't wait to show you how to make that one. So we want this one to be kind of down towards the bottom. And then bring in that gorgeous ribbon. This time we are going to do a fake knot. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a very little waste for ribbon. I am really, really stingy when it comes to ribbon because it's just so valuable to me. So I really try not to waste it, and that's why I wanted to teach you some of those little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, because then I'm only cutting what I'm going to use. And that is gorgeous. So do you see that there's one side that's a little bit more bulky or more flat, and this one has that beautiful knot, which is what I want. And then I'm going to come over here, grab a couple of glue dots, and stick that right here. And isn't that so precious? It's beautiful. And that, oh my word, that gold foil paper is just the bomb. Okay, last one. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for making this belly band. I pretty much did all the other work because I've already showed you how to do all of that stamping for card number 1. And the rest of it is just gluing the pieces on and making sure that you have a nice border. And I just love how this DSP matches everything. Like, there is no wrong or bad combination. There's just so many beautiful combinations for this. So this was one of the pieces that I had left over. It's a little bit different than my original belly band, but guess what? That's okay. So we are going to attach this to the corner of my tag, just like that. We're going to get a little bow, and I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller. Again, go to the back, come around to the front, and then bring that down, tie it, trying to get that nice and tight. Get those a little bit smaller. Oh, this ribbon is just so beautiful. Isn't that just so perfect? And either side you could use, truly. Either side. I think I like this more knotted piece right here, and I'm just going to kind of pull that, get that a little bit smaller, and that is lovely. Now let's just cut a little side off. Whoops, kind of pulled that a little too much, but that'll work. Get those glue dots handy. And that is going to go right over that. Perfect. And if you do get those little ends like that, you can just trim them off like so. And if you need to fidget with it a little bit more, you certainly can. That just didn't get as tight as I wanted it, but it'll work. Okay, so the belly band, a couple of tips. I like to kind of start folding and creasing that cardstock to break down those fibers in here so that it will fold better. And then I'm going to take my Designer Series paper and I'm going to get some adhesive on it, just like that. And I'm going to put this in the center like so. Whoops, let's lift that up just a smidge. Wasn't quite lined up the way I wanted it. And now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna keep kind of creasing that with my finger, okay? And then I'm gonna hold this in place where I want it, and I'm just gonna carefully wrap it around. I don't want it to be too tight because I still want this to slide off and on. So just be careful as you're getting that into place that it's not too tight. And then you can use glue dots, you can use liquid adhesive, or you can use your press and seal or your stamp and seal. And we're gonna just bring those together right here in the back, and look at that. It slides beautifully. And now I'm going to attach this to the front, just like so. I want that to be a little bit more over because I don't want that to hang over. And look at how precious that is. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you love these cards as much as I did making them. And I can't wait to see what you create with this template. Thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And again, I can't thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment down below.